This conference will now be recorded.
So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the formula fields. We will see what exactly a formula field, what is the use, and how to create the formula fields in Salesforce, and how can we prepare the formula which can be used to prepare the value for that field, and what are the various of formula return types we'll see practically now. Now, let's see what exactly a formula field first. Now, as of now, we know how to create the fields inside the object. We know how to create the fields inside the object. So upon creating the field, we are selecting the various data types. Upon creating the field, we are selecting a data type. It may be email type, phone type, number type, person type, date type, text type, text area, pick list. Like that, so many data types are available. So whenever I'm creating the field by selecting those data types, so while creating a record, we have to enter the value. We have to enter the value, okay, inside that text box, we have to enter the value. But sometimes I don't want to enter the value for that column. Okay, sometimes I don't want to enter the value for that column. I want to make that column value has to be automatically generated. Okay, I want to make that column value should be automatically generated. So at that time, we have to use a feature called as formula fields. That means what? I want to create the field whose value will be generating by Salesforce automatically based on some formula, based on some expression, the value should be generating by the Salesforce automatically. Now, suppose for example here, let me explain a small scenario. Now, assume that. For example, I have a table. I have a table. So this is my account table over here. That means this is my account object. Inside this object, I'm having the various of fields, like the account ID field, name field, rating field, industry field, and the annual revenue field, like that. These are the fields are available inside my object. So I'm having the fields like ID, name field, rating, industry, some annual revenue. Annual revenue. These are the fields are available inside my object. These are the fields are available inside my object. Now, I'm going to be creating a record. Okay, I'm creating a record inside my object. So I'm having a user interface. This is the user interface which has been given by Salesforce by default. This is the user interface. Upon click on the new button to create a new account record, it is providing this user interface to me. Here I'm having the text boxes to enter the name value, rating value, industry, and the annual revenue. Now it is having that value like as account name. There is a field. Rating value. Industry name. Annual revenue. These are the four text boxes I would like to have. I'm having this 4 text boxes to enter the account name and the rating value and the industry and the annual revenue. These are the 4 fields are available here. And then I'm having the save button and I'm having the cancel button. So these are the 2 buttons are available. I have save and the cancel. I'm having this save button and the cancel button. So these are the buttons are available. Now, today I'm creating a new customer record. Today I'm creating a new customer record inside my object. So I'm entering the details of my customer, like some Ram Kumar. Rating value is some heart. Industry is some banking. And the annual revenue some 20 lakhs. Annual revenue some 20 lakhs. So these are the values which I have entered. And then when I click on the save button, with these details, it has to create a record here. Now my client said that, so now every customer should pay some service tax. Every customer should pay some service tax to the government. So what will be the service tax? That will be 5% of this revenue. Whatever the revenue he is generating, from that revenue, 5% of the amount he has to pay as a service tax to the government. So now tell me, how can we calculate the service tax? Will you do this calculation manually for each and every customer? No, I don't want to do that calculation manually here. I want to make this calculation should be done automatically. I want to make that calculation has to be done automatically by itself. Then how can we do that? Here I would like to have an additional column. So here I would like to have an additional column inside my table here. No. So now in this case here I would like to have a column called as service tax. So what is the service tax that should be calculated by an application itself here. Now what will be the service tax amount? That will be the 5% of revenue. Okay, 5% of revenue. So whatever the revenue he is generating, he may be earning some 10 lakhs also, 5 lakhs also, it may be 10,000 also, whatever. 5% of that revenue he has to pay to the government as a service tax. So in this case, how can we do this calculation? Do we need to calculate this service tax manually for every customer? And having some lakhs of customers are there, thousands of customers are there. The revenues are different revenues are available. So do I need to calculate all these service tax values for every customer manually? No, I don't want to do that here. I don't want to do that calculation manually. Okay, I don't want to do the calculation manually. So for that reason, I want to make this column value should be automatically generated. So whenever I'm creating a new record, okay, whenever I'm going to be creating a new record, okay, upon creating a new record over here. So now here I'm giving that name value. And then I'm giving that rating value, industry, annual revenue. So ID will be generating by Salesforce. Because account record IDs will be starting from 001. For example, it is generating the ID is 00134567. So name is some Ram Kumar. And the rating value some heart. Industry, banking. Annual revenue some 20 lakhs. So in this case, whenever I'm saving this record, automatically upon saving this record, it has to calculate the service tax also. So what is the service tax amount value over here? That is nothing but 5% of this 20 lakhs. 5% of the 20 lakhs means what? What is that value? 20 lakhs into 5 by 100. This is the value over here. So now here in this case, I'm indicating this. So what will be the value over here? So now here we are having the 20,000 into, okay, 5. So like that will be 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so the service tax will be, okay, 1 lakh. 5% of that annual revenue he has to pay to the government as service tax. So in this case, the service tax I don't want to calculate. That means this is also a column inside my table, but this column value I don't want to enter manually. This column value should be generated automatically. Based on what? Based on a formula. What is that formula? The formula will be annual revenue. Annual revenue into 5 by 100. This is the formula, 5% of this annual revenue. So this is the formula which I would like to use, so that here based on this formula, it has to do the calculation. That calculated result should be get visible inside my field over here. That means what? For the name, I'm giving the value. For the rating, I'm giving the value. For industry, I'm giving the value. For annual revenue, I'm giving the value. But for the service tax, value should be automatically generated based on what? Based on some formula or based on some expression. So in this case, whenever if you want to add these kind of columns, then we have to go with a field type called as formula fields. So formula field value should be generated by automatically by Salesforce. We are not entering that value because that field value is read-only value. We can't change that value. Even though you are an administrator, you can't modify that field value. That value will be fixed. Which we can't modify. So in this case, when coming to the formula fields are read-only system-generated fields. Okay, read-only system-generated fields. That means these are the read-only fields which we can't modify. This value will be generating by Salesforce. That's what I'm indicating like as system-generated. This value will be generating by Salesforce. Based on what? Based on some formula or based on some expression which we have entered. So in this case, as of now, we have created some fields. Okay, as of now, we have created some fields, but for that fields, we have to enter the value manually. But for this formula field, we no need to enter the value. So the formula field value will be calculating or generating by Salesforce automatically based on the formula or based on the expression which you have entered. Okay, based on the formula or based on the expression which you have entered, the formula field value will be generating by Salesforce. So that here we are using this formula fields. So formula fields are read-only system-generated fields whose value will be generating by Salesforce based on the formula or expression given by the developer. Upon creating the field itself, we have to specify that formula. Upon creating the field itself, we have to specify the formula. So which formula you want to use to prepare the value for this field. Okay, clear about this one?
Now, if we change the annual revenue, automatically it will change.
Yes, right, correct. Because here, if I'm changing this annual revenue value from 20 lakhs to some 50 lakhs, automatically formula will be recalculated. That new value will be placing inside this service tax. Okay, so that whenever you are changing this annual revenue value, then again recalculating that formula, it will be placing that value inside that field automatically by Salesforce. So that here formula will be getting recalculated automatically. Formula will be recalculating automatically whenever the source field has been changed. So whenever we are changing this source field, that means annual revenue field value, then automatically formula will be recalculated again. The new value will be storing inside that field itself. This is the internal functionality of formula fields, so that the formulas are executing automatically by itself. Okay, upon creating the record, upon updating the record. Suppose upon creating the record, I have given that annual revenue as 20 lakhs. So formula has been executed and it is giving that service tax as 1 lakh. Suppose after 2 days, I'm opening this record, I'm changing this annual revenue value to some 40 lakhs. I'm changing it to 40 lakhs. Then in this case, what will happen? It is going to recalculating the service tax. It will be indicating that service tax as 2 lakhs rupees. It will calculate that formula automatically here whenever the field value has been modified. Whenever you are changing this annual revenue value, automatically this formula will be recalculated by default here. This is the functionality will be happening in formula fields internally by default. Okay.
Sir, if service tax has different slab levels, like for 2 lakhs 5%, 10 lakhs 12%,
then we can do. We are having various functions are available. Depends upon the conditions we can able to add that service tax like slabs. Like for example, if the annual revenue is between 0 to 5 lakhs, then one different service tax like some 2%. If the annual revenue is between like some 5 lakhs 1 to some 20 lakhs, then a different slab rate like some 5%. If the annual revenue is more than 20 lakhs, then I want to calculate 10% of the revenue here. That will be the service tax like that. Like whenever we are paying some income tax to the government, like the similar way we can able to define the slab rates also. Based on that, we can able to implement the formula as well here. That facility is possible. For that one, we are using the various functions which has been given by Salesforce by default here. We have so many functions are available which have been given by Salesforce, which we can use in order to prepare the formula, in order to prepare the expression. We'll see each and every function one by one as well here. Okay, now. So now let me give the note point here. When coming to the formula fields. Formula fields are the read-only system generated fields. Formula fields are the read-only system generated fields whose value will be generated by Salesforce. Whose value will be generated by Salesforce based on the formula or expression entered by the developer. Entered by the developer upon creating the field, the developer has to enter which formula it has to use. Okay, which formula it has to use to calculate the value for this field. Like for example, when you go to the supermarkets. So whenever I'm going to purchasing some items, so now it will be calculating the discount automatically. Those people are not executing the discount calculation, that will be automatically calculating by the system itself. It is calculating the GST also automatically here. It is calculating the GST also here. Automatically it is calculating the GST also. So like that here also. Suppose if you're purchasing like some jewelry ornaments, then they are going to be calculating 3% of GST. So 3% of GST they're calculating on the jewelry. Like the similar way here also, we can do some calculations also here. That calculation has to be done automatically by that system itself. We don't want to calculate that the GST amount of the service tax, discounts manually. That has to be done automatically by the system itself. For that one, we are using this kind of formula fields. Okay, now. So now formula fields are the read-only system generated fields. That means this value will be generating by Salesforce, which can be editable by the developer, or even you are an administrator also. Even though you are an administrator, you can't modify that formula field value. That will be fixed. Then how to change that formula field? They will raise a question in entry point of view. Basically, it's not a technical question, it's a logical question. Formula field value is a read-only field. We can't modify. Sometimes in the entry point of view, they will raise a question. So how can we change this formula field value here? I want to change this for service tax value. How? I want to change this service tax. What we can do?
Change the formula?
I don't want to change the formula. I don't want to touch the formula at all. If I'm changing this annual revenue value, then what will happen? Formula will be recalculated, right? New value will be generating, right? That will be storing inside this field, right? So in this case here, if I'm changing this as source field value, because formula will be calculating the service tax based on what? Based on what is the source? Annual revenue. Suppose if I'm changing this annual revenue from 20 lakhs to some 5 lakhs, then automatically, so now in this case, service tax will be reducing, right? Yes, it will be changing this value automatically. If I'm giving like this 5 lakhs, then automatically this value will be changing to 50,000 here. Okay, so the to 25,000. It will be changing it to 25,000 here. So the formula will be getting recalculated. So that if you want to change the formula field value, then you have to change that source field. Whatever the source field is available, change the source field value, then automatically formula value will be getting recalculated again here. The facility is available to you.
Is it a possibility that sometimes the service rate taxes can change, right, from year to year, or
At
that
that
we can we
time,
change the formula also?
yes, we can change any point of time. We can change the formula also. Okay, as an administrator, you can change the formula because day by day, or year by year, or financial year wise, or the quarterly wise, they are going to be changing some rates. Suppose when you go to that bank, they're going to be providing some interest rates. Upon providing the loans, they're providing some interest rates. But that interest rate is not fixed. Keep on, it is changing day by day, or weekly, or monthly, or season wise, or quarterly. The interest rates are keep on changing based on the government rules of RBI, based on the Reserve Bank of India rules. They are going to changing the interest rates also. Sometimes they're increasing that interest rate, sometimes they're decreasing the interest rates also, so that they're going to be making some changes also, so that simply we can go to the formula, we can just, you can change that value, that's it. It will be recalculating from there onwards now. Okay, now, so now here in this case, now, so now here in this case, when coming to the formula field value will be generating by Salesforce automatically. The formula field value can't be editable. Formula field value can't be editable by the developer or administrator also. Now, formula field value will be recalculated. Okay? Recalculated upon updating the record. Whenever we are going to be updating the record, automatically the formula will be getting recalculated, and that new value will be storing inside that field itself. Now, so now here in this case, how can we create the formula field inside your Salesforce instance? So upon creating the field, there is a field data type is available that is called as formula. Like previously, we have created some fields by selecting the data type like as text type, email type, pick list type, number type, like that we're selecting that. But now, upon creating this formula field, we have to select the data type as formula. Okay, we have to prepare that. We have to select the data type as formula. Now, so while creating the field, we have to select the data type as formula. We have to select that formula data type over here. Then, while creating that field itself, it will ask you what is that formula you want to use. So, what is the formula you want to use in order to do the calculation? In order to do the calculation, so what is the formula you want to use? You have to specify that option over here. You have to specify that option. What is that formula you want to use in order to do the calculation? So now here in this case, how can we create this formula fields inside your Salesforce instance? So now let's see practically in this case. And then upon creating the formula field, we are going to be using the various ready-made functions. Okay, we are going to be using the various ready-made functions which has been given by Salesforce by default. Salesforce is providing so many ready-made functions which can be used upon creating the formula. So now while creating the formula field, we can able to select that various data types. Various of functions are available which have been given by Salesforce by default. Then what are those functions are available? We'll see practically one by one first, and then we'll see so how can we create that formula field and what are the various return types of this formula. We'll see practically also over here. Now, so now here in this case here. So what are the various ready-made functions are available as part of this formula field here? Now, so now let me show you practically in this case. So let's go with that various functions which has been given by Salesforce. Now, we'll see the various functions here. So now Salesforce is providing the various ready-made functions. Okay. Salesforce provides the various ready-made functions which can be used. Okay, which can be used in order to prepare the formula. So what are the various of formula? Field data types are available. Okay, functions are available. Now let's see practically in this case. Now, Salesforce provides a set of ready-made functions to be get used while preparing the formula. So upon preparing the formula, we can able to use the various ready-made functions which has been given by Salesforce by default here. Now let's see each and every function one by one with the practical example here. Now, the first function. The first function is ABS. ABS of number. So what do you mean by this ABS function? ABS in the sense, these functions are not new. These functions already, as part of your mathematics in your childhood. Okay. Now, so in this case, what exactly is ABS function? So ABS is nothing but absolute function. Okay, ABS in the sense absolute function. So what is this absolute function? Absolute function is used to calculate or to find out the absolute value of a given number. Okay, in order to collect the absolute value of a given number, we are going to be using this ABS function. ABS means absolute function. So what is this absolute function? Now let me explain. For example, I'm using this ABS of minus 12.50. So what is this absolute function will do? It is going to be returning the positive value of the given number. Absolute value means positive value. So I have passed some negative value over here, minus 12.50. It will return the result as 12.50. Nothing but it is converting that negative to positive. Suppose, for example, if I'm giving the positive number over here, like a 34.50, then again it will return positive value only here. Okay, I'm giving that value 34.50. So it will be giving the result as 34.50. That means if I'm giving the negative value, then it is going to be returning the positive value of that given number here. If I'm giving positive, then it will be giving that same positive number to you here. So that in order to get the absolute value or the positive value of the given number, we are using this ABS function. This is the first one. As part of your mathematics in our childhood, you know all these things here. Next, second one. SQRT function. SQRT of number. So SQRT means square root function. Okay, SQRT means the square root function. So now what is this a square root function? What is the use of this one? Now, square root function is used to, square root function is used to calculate the square root of the given number here. Okay, it is used to calculate the square root of the given number. Suppose, for example, I'm indicating that. Okay, SQRT of some 144. What it returns to you? What is the result here? What is the result 12. In this case? Now it is returning that value 12. It is returning 12. Suppose if I'm indicating like some SQRT of some 625, it is going to be returning the result as 25. If I'm giving that SQRT of, like for example, some 169, it is returning the value 13. Like that here, whenever if you want to get the square root value of the given number, in order to get the square root value of the given number, we are going to be using SQRT function. By using this SQRT function, we can able to find out the square root value of the given number. Next, third one, length function. Length of string. So what do you mean by this function? This function is going to be returning an integer value which indicates how many number of characters are available inside this string. So whatever the string that I'm supplying as an input, whatever the string that I'm giving as an input, now in that string, how many number of characters are available, that will be calculating here. It will calculate how many number of characters are available inside this string. So it will be returning the length of that string over here. So now here in this case, now this function is going to be returning the length of the string. That means what? How many number of characters are available inside this string? It will return. Like for example, if I'm indicating length of some welcome, it returns the value as 7, because here we are having how many characters are available inside this one? We are having 7 characters are available. So it is returning the value as 7. So now here in this case, whenever if you want to find out the number of characters that are available inside the string, we are going to be using this length function. Length function will return the number of characters available inside the string, including spaces. If I am giving some space, space is also counting as one character over there. Okay, now.
Can we pass variable as a parameter in length function?
Sorry?
Can we pass variable over here instead of a string?
Variable in the
Variable
sense?
name which contains a string.
Yes, you can pass. Yes, you can pass the field names also over here. No problem. Okay. Now, we can pass that. Not only hard coding this value, we can pass that field name also. In that field, whatever the value is there, it will collect that value. It will be finding out how many number of characters are available. Next, the fourth one, trim function. So what is the use of this trim function? Trimming in the sense removing. What it will remove, it is removing the blank spaces. Suppose, for example, I'm having some string is available, like some welcome. So before this string, there is 2 spaces are available. After this string, there are some 1 space is available. So whenever if you want to remove these kind of blank spaces, we are using the help of a function called as trim function. Trim function is going to be removing the blank spaces available inside that string. It may be before, it may be after also. It will remove both the places. So now, before the string also, after the string also, whatever the blank spaces are available, those blank spaces we can able to remove with the help of the trim function. Like for example, if I'm giving like as here, if I'm writing like as trim of welcome, then it is going to be returning that value over here. Okay, simply it will return welcome. That's it. It won't give any spaces over here. Spaces will be getting eliminated from there itself. So now here in this case, we'll see that next function over there. Now, so now let's see this one here. Now, the next function. The fifth function is upper function. Upper R. So what is this upper function? What is the use of this upper function? Upper function is used to convert the specified string into the uppercase. Okay. Upper function is used to convert the specified string into the uppercase. Whenever if you want to convert the specified string into the uppercase, we are using this upper function. Like for example, here I'm indicating upper of like as some welcome. Whenever I'm passing this value, it is going to be converting into uppercase here. It will returning that welcome as uppercase letters. Welcome as uppercase letters. Now, like the similar way, we are having that lower function, lower of string. So what it will do, it is going to be returning the lower characters, nothing but here small characters of this particular string here. So now it is converting that string into the lowercase letters. Now, so now here in this case, here I'm indicating lower of welcome. Whenever I'm passing the uppercase, now these characters are going to be converting into lowercase here. It will be converting into lowercase automatically by default.
Rose, what did you mean by trim again? Can you just tell me that once more? I'm sorry.
Now, so now upper function is used to convert, okay, the specified string into uppercase letters. What
No,
were the
I'm talking
small
about
case
what
letters that I have indicated?
No, I'm not asking. I'm talking about trim.
Now, trim function is used to remove the blank spaces. Suppose, for example, upon typing some characters, if there is any blank spaces are available here. In this case
Okay.
here, this is the starting of the string. Here, the two blank spaces are there. Here, one blank space is there. So, I want to eliminate this kind of blank spaces here. So, at that time, we are going to be using this trim function.
Thank you.
Okay. The next one. The next function is left function. Okay, left function. In this left function, we have to specify the two parameters, string and an integer value. Integer value. Two parameters we have to pass. Now, for example, assume that, come to a general scenario. Assume that today I have received a call. Just now I have received a call. So where the mobile number has been started from +61. 61 some number is there. So now tell me from where you have received this call, from which country? We have received this call from Australia. Because Australia country code is +61. Suppose I have received a call with whose number is starting from 91. Some number is there. Now tell me this call is from where? India. Because India's country code is +9. For example, I have received a call whose country name is starting from 81. So this is indicating China. Like that, what happened? We are having some country codes are there. Based on some starting characters, we can identify from which country you have received this call. From which country you have received this call directly, we can able to identify based on that starting three characters, three numbers over here. That means this is indicating the country code. The first three numbers are indicating country code. Based on this country code here, we can understand, okay, from which country we have received this call over here. That facility is available to you in this case. Now, so now here in this case, whenever if you want to receive this call here, whenever if you are going to be identifying that, whether this is comes from Australia or Middle East or Japan or Germany or US or it may be China, wherever, we can identify that call based on that country code itself. Like the similar way, in this case, how can we collect this one? We need to collect the first starting characters, nothing but starting three. So then how can we collect the starting three here? For that one, we are using left function. Because this is the number is available. For this number, this is the left side. Okay, this is the left side here. This is the left side of this number. And then this is the right side. Okay, this is the right side. So now from this left side, how many digits you want over here? First three. In this case, from this entire number, I don't want the complete number to identify from which country I received this number. I want the first three numbers first here, starting from left side. So if you want to get some specified number of characters from the left side of the string, then we have to use left function. Left function is used to get the specified number of characters from the left side of the string. Okay, from the left side, we can collect the specified number of characters by using this left function over here. Now, so in this case, for example, assume that I'm indicating left of my string is, okay, my string is some welcome to, okay, welcome to formulas. I'm indicating like a some file. Okay, I'm indicating like a some file. So what is the output over here in this case? Okay, what is the output of this one? So now here in this particular entire string, the first five, nothing but from the left side, this is the left side. So from this left side, it is collecting that first five. That means because I have indicated like as five. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is returning only these 5 characters over here. Whatever the 5 characters are available, it is returning over here. Okay, it is returning that first 5 characters from this particular string over here. Now, so next one. Now, the next function. The next function is write function here. So what exactly the write function? Now let's see practically. Like the similar way, okay, like the similar way, as of now what we did, we are collecting the value from the left side of that string. In some cases, I would like to collect the value from the right side of the string over here. Okay, right side of the string, I want to collect it. For that reason, we are going to be using this write function. So string comma integer, we can specify that integer value. How many characters you would like to collect over here? We can specify. For example, write of, I'm indicating, so welcome to some formula. So I'm indicating that like as 7. Whenever I'm going to be indicating this 7, so now from the right side it is returning 7 characters. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is returning that value formula. This is the output over here. So here is the output. Output will be simply formula. It is returning that 7 characters. From the right side, we can able to collect that 7 characters. Now, as of now, we are collecting from left side or we are collecting from right side. Sometimes I want to collect from the middle. That means from a specific point over here. How can we collect? Now let's see. So now in this case, we are using that substring function. Substring. In this case, what needs to be done? We have to specify that string value, and then we have to specify that the starting position, and then we can specify number of characters. That means what? Whenever if you want to collect that characters from the middle somewhere, because from a specific index position, then we are going to be using this substring function. So substring function is used to collect the specified number of characters from the given string from the specified starting position. From the specified position, we can able to collect that values over here. Now, so in this case, how can we collect this one? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, for example, I'm indicating. For example, I'm having a function, small string. Substring of I'm indicating like as I'm indicating Apex program. Apex program. So I want to collect from the second position. I want to collect some 5 characters. Okay, from the second position, I want to collect 5 characters. That means what? So now this is the second position. Okay, now this is the second position over here. Now in this case, so from the second position means what? This is the first one, this is the second one. So from second one, how many you want? 5. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that it is collecting these values. From the second position, 5 characters. P is 1, E, X, space, and the P. These are the 5 characters it will collect over here. It will be returning these values to you. P, E, X, space, P. This is the value will be returning by the substring function. So substring function is used to find out or to collect the specified number of characters from the specified string from the specified starting position over here. For that reason, we are using the help of substring function. Next one. The next function is today function. Today function is going to be returning the today's date. Okay, so today's system date, nothing but Salesforce server date. It will be returning the today's server date over here. For example, if I'm using this today function is going to be returning that value over here, like as some 07 okay 16 okay 2020. That means here it will be returning that value like as DD YY format. And the next one. The next function is year function. Year of date. That means what? It is currently, if I'm using this today function is going to be returning the complete date, including the date and the month and the year. But I don't want all. I want only the year part. Okay, I want only the year part. Now, so now in this, now, if you want to collect only that year part, okay, from that string, from the date, if you want to collect only the year part, then we can go with the help of year function. Okay, but we have to pass. Suppose, for example, if I'm indicating year of, okay, if I'm giving year of, okay, like as today. That means what? It will collect the today's date. From the today's date, only the year part it will returns to you over here, like as only the year part. Next. The next one is the month function. Month of date. If you want to get only the month part over here, for example, I'm collecting the today's date. From the today's date, I want to collect only the month part, so that I'm using month of today. So it is returning that value. Okay, it is returning that value 07. Only the month part it will return here. Like the similar way, day function. So in this case, we have to pass the date. From this one to return only the date part over here. Day of today. That means here I'm collecting the today's date. From the today's date, I'm collecting only that the date part. That is nothing but some 16. So that here, if you want to get the complete date, including month, year and the date. Then we can use the today function. It returns the today's date. Okay, today's Salesforce server date. It is not our local system date, not our local system date. Salesforce server date it will return here. Your organization's date it will return. If I'm using year function, it will return only the year portion. Only the year number will be getting returns to you. Month function will return only the month number to you. The day function will return only the day, okay, day value to you over here. Now, the next one here. The next function is image function. Image function. So in this case, we have to specify if you want to show some image on the user interface, we have to use this image function. So we have to specify the path of the image. Path of the image, and then we have to specify the alternate text. Alternate text. So we have to specify the alternate text, and then we have to specify the height and width. Height and the width. So specifying the height and width is optional. That's what I have indicated in the square braces. If I'm not specifying any height and width, it will consider the actual image height and width. If you want to specify in a specified location, like a specified size, then we can indicate that what will be the height and what will be the width that you want. So in this case, in order to display some image based on the location, the image is available in this location, and then upon placing the mouse pointer on that image, this is that message has to be get visible. It may please display the image with this particular height and with this particular width. And next, the last function. The last function is we are going to be using this function called as if function. If. So we can specify the conditions. If the conditions are satisfied, it returns true, or else it will return false. So whenever if you want to use that condition, okay, if you want to perform some operation based on some conditions, then we can go with that, okay, if function here. If condition, so now we can specify the conditions, whatever you want to validate. If the conditions are satisfied, it returns true, or else it returns false. Next one. Let me explain one more function here, which is a bit important over there. The next one is the last one, case function. Case. Case function is like as a switch statement. Okay, switch statement, case function. So here we can able to specify the expression. Okay, expression. We can compare this expression. We can compare this a value. That means it may be expression. It may be a value. We can compare this value with the multiple branches, so that here we can able to specify that. If it is matching with this particular branch, okay, if it is matching with this value, if it is matching with the branch value, it returns that result over here. Okay, now, so here we can specify the case number and then value. This is called as the case number and the result. At the value which should be getting returned. Suppose if this case number is not matching, then we can specify that case number 2. Case number 1. This is a case number 2. We can compare with the second case here. If it is matching, then return this value over here. If this is also not matching, we can specify the case number 3. Third case we can able to compare, and then we'll be returning this value over here. Like that, here we can able to compare with the multiple. Case number n, and then if it is matching, then it will be returning that value. Else, okay, else we are going to return the default value. Default value. This is the case function. These are the various functions that are available as part of your Salesforce instance, which we can use to prepare the formula. Upon preparing the formula, we can use the help of all these functions, whatever. We are having the ABS function, square root function, length function, trim function, upper function, lower function, left function, right function, substring, today, and the year, month, day, image, if, case. These are the various functions that are available. By using these functions, how to prepare the formula, we'll see in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll see how can we create the formula fields by using these functions. With the help of these functions, how to create the formula fields, we'll see practically in this case. Along with that, tomorrow we'll see how can we show the images, how to show the images on the user interface through formula fields. We'll see practically also in this case. Okay, we'll see that how to prepare the formula fields in tomorrow's session with the practical part. Okay.